Today we are going to talk about everything from we've got ships moving around to some different ports, offering some new options in cruising, Clear to Princess Easy Air and other cruise lines air services, and some things we should maybe think about when we book with them. We are also going to talk about whether or not your loyalty is for sale, a follow-up on yesterday's video about using lifeboats as tenders, and a lot more. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Friday. It is July 12th of 2024, and I am really excited to be with you. So this evening, come and join us if you can. We're going to be live starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We always have a fun time talking about cruising, so bring your questions, bring your fun experiences that you want to share, and we'll look forward to seeing you there. I want to start off with a really quick note that right now, if you are looking to renew your passport, I have heard from several people that it is taking about 5 weeks if you don't do the expedited way of renewing your passport. So when it's time to renew your passport, make sure that you keep in mind that when you travel on a cruise, your passport has to be good for 6 months after the date that you return from the cruise. And so keep an eye on that as you're planning your travel. And in the summertime, it always takes longer to get passports renewed than if you do it in the off season, like in the wintertime. So just keep that in mind. Now I want to talk to you for just a minute about loyalty. If you missed my video yesterday, you really need to go watch it because it contains a lot of information that you got to think about with the current promo that Princess is running. They've got that promo going that if you sail on a cruise between August 1st and December 1st this year and you have the Plus or Premier package on your booking, that you are going to get twice the loyalty points for that trip. So you'll get twice as many days. 7-day cruise is going to give you 14 days sailed rather than just 7, and you'll get credit for 2 cruises instead of just 1. One really important note about that is it's a really big deal when you're on the ship who is the most cruised guest. They always recognize them at the captain's circle parties that they have, but in addition to that, a lot of people have truly worked hard to earn that loyalty. They have sailed and sailed and sailed with the particular cruise line, and so we're talking about Princess here. So I think it's important to note that when you go on the cruises that are included in this promo, those promo extra sailings are not going to be counted, and those days are not going to be counted towards being the most sailed passenger on board. Princess is keeping track of that in their system, and when they generate the report for a cruise of who the most traveled guest is, those extra days are not going to be included. You'll just get, like the 7 days for the 7-day cruise. So I think that's a really important distinction. That leads us to another discussion here, and it's really, is your loyalty for sale? Because I thought about it a lot after I talked about it yesterday, and then I saw some of the comments that some of you made saying that really your loyalty isn't for sale. And you like to think that loyalty isn't for sale, but for here a few minutes with Princess for those 4 months, turns out it's for sale. I guess August, September, October, November. Yep, those 4 months, loyalty is for sale. And so really and truly think about it. If you want to hit the next loyalty level, take a look at the cruises and see where you'd like to go and make sure that you include that package. And I think you'll be where you want to go with your loyalty before you know it. So please put in the comments, tell me what you think about it, okay? All right, let's talk for just a minute about some cruise ships moving around and some really fun options that go with that. It is not commonplace that cruisers who sail with Princess often see a ship home porting in Boston, but looking at the itineraries for 2024 and 2025 that we have got so far, they are going to have a ship, at least one ship, home ported there. And so as we look at that, and some other ships will be making calls there as well. For example, the Enchanted Princess that we're going to be on for our Love Boat cruise will have a port stop in Boston, which is really fun. If you have not been to Boston, whether you're from the United States or from somewhere else, it is definitely worth a visit. I would always go to Boston instead of New York. I've been to both, and Boston has much more of that hometown feeling to it, I feel like, between the two big cities. Boston's not near as big as New York, that I know that. But I do want to just put out there that you might want to put that on your radar. So the beautiful Emerald Princess is going to be the ship that is going to be homeporting there in Boston for a while this New England and Canada season. And she will be arriving in Boston on Sunday, July 14th. She has kind of a different range of cruises, so she'll be running the 7-day round trip out of Boston cruises. But then a few times during the season, she is going to be doing the ones that go one direction between Boston and Quebec. And once she does the run from Boston to Quebec, of course, she is going to have to go ahead and run another cruise down. So it really opens up some options based on what sightseeing you would like to do before or after your cruise, whether you want to start in Quebec or if you want to start in Boston and see some of the different ports doing it that way. It's a really nice way when you do that itinerary to catch some of the ports up there in Canada that you don't always catch on the round trip Boston trips, or even on the round trip New York trips. A lot of them don't catch a lot of those ports, so it adds a lot of options there. So keep your eyes open and look for that. I'm really excited about having a ship there. And you should also know that if you want to try to go to Greenland in August, which is supposed to be the best month out of the year, they say, to go to Greenland, Princess is running the Emerald Princess there. It departs on August 11th, actually. They have a cruise that is round trip from Boston that goes to Greenland. So put that on your radar. And I looked at it just before I did my video, and there is still availability on that cruise. So if you need help with it, you can give me a call. But I just wanted to let you know that that is a really good option, and they're only doing it one time this year. So think about that. Next, we have got the Allure of the Seas Royal Caribbean ship that I want to go on sometime to see Mamma Mia. It has been homeported, or I should say she has been homeported there in Port Canaveral, and she is just moving down to Miami, which is really exciting. I love sailing in and out of Miami. I've had the pleasure of doing that several times. I have not been able to sail out of Port Canaveral yet, and so that's still on my wish list, but I wanted to let you know about Allure of the Seas because as she has been sailing out of Port Canaveral, she has mostly been doing those 7-day cruises. But coming to Miami, they are going to be adding in some 3- and 4-day cruises. So she is pretty much, they say, going to be sailing out of Miami on Fridays and Mondays, but adding in those 3- and 4-day itineraries as well as some 7-day itineraries. So take a look at the Allure of the Seas there. I'm really wondering if any of you know, you're going to have to tell me as these cruises get rolling if they're going to do Mamma Mia on those shorter 3- and 4-day sailings, because I would book it just for that, but I really like the idea of just using 3 or 4 days rather than a whole 7 days. So that opens up a world of possibilities there. And then along with the Allure of the Seas moving from Port Canaveral over to Miami, we've got Utopia of the Seas coming, and she has just arrived there in Port Canaveral. And so on Monday the 15th, they are going to be doing the naming ceremony sailing, which is really exciting. And then starting on the 19th, that is when they are going to start sailing their first paying guests, and off they go. So it's really exciting. Utopia of the Seas is on my wish list as well. This is really kind of funny. I was truly trying to decide, and tell me what you think in the comments. Are you more excited to try Icon of the Seas or Utopia of the Seas? You know that as a general rule, we go on Princess most often, but I would really like to see those ships, and so I was trying to decide which I would be more interested in doing first. So tell me which one you would be interested in doing first. I noticed that Royal Caribbean has been doing a lot of media advertising, of course, about Utopia of the Seas, and they've got they do a really good job of showing what their water shows are going to be like. It's just really exciting, their parades, all the things. So thought I would put that on your radar as well. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please be sure to hit that subscribe button? We really appreciate your support. It doesn't cost anything, and it doesn't obligate you to anything. Also, if you appreciate my updates, will you please give us a thumbs up? It actually makes a really big difference, so thank you again. Okay, let's talk about flights for a few minutes here. So one of our Let's Go family members just today is boarding Oceania there in the port of Manhattan. And he said that he booked his flights with Oceania, and in doing that, as they arrived at the terminal building there for Pier 88, they said that there's plenty of seating there for everyone who wants to wait. But if you booked your flights through Oceania, then you get to have a box lunch and an earlier boarding time. And if you didn't book your flights with Oceania, of course you can sit there and wait, or you can go touring the city, whatever it is you want to do, but you get a later embarkation time. They were already a little bit delayed. They didn't start boarding till 12:45 because there was a U.S. Coast Guard inspection, and so that delayed embarkation a little bit, but I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted you to know about it. And the other thing that I think it's really important, as you know, times come and go, and you think of everything that happens. You know, I'm lukewarm about Princess Easier right now, and but I will say we did an awful lot of cruises without any glitches, and so I really do think that 99% of the time Princess Easier works like a charm. But it's that 1% that always has me worried. But I've been thinking about it a lot, and when Hurricane Beryl happened, it brought it to my mind a lot again. And I was thinking, because we did have some cruise ships that were actually delayed getting back in a day late because they couldn't come in on the day they were scheduled due to the weather. And so you think of all of those cruise passengers there, and of course some of them were able to park and so they could drive home, but of course there are always cruise passengers that have to fly. And I was thinking about what happens when you are delayed coming back into port because of something unexpected. When you book with the cruise line, they take care of rearranging your flights. You don't have to worry about trying to get online when you're on the ship and, you know, whatever is going on. You don't have to worry about that. They reschedule your flights for you. You don't have to worry if you're going to have to pay extra because you're switching your flight, or because the flight they're going to put you on is going to cost more. You don't even have to worry about that. The cruise lines take care of it. And so I want to put that out there for all of you to think about. And I know that, you know, there are a lot of cruises that go in hurricane season. Hurricane season officially starts in April and doesn't really end until, most people say, at the end of October. So that's a really big window of time there that they consider hurricane season. And this year we have a lot of storms. They're tracking more storms right now in the Atlantic. And so as you think about that, it seems to me that maybe more than ever we're going to be thinking that maybe we should book with the airline. That we're going to book through the cruise line for our flights. So let me know in the comments below how it's been working for you. If thinking of the weather is going to make you change your mind at all about how you book your flights. It's an awful lot to think about, and so I like that we can all visit about it. So we can talk about it some more this evening during our live if you would like to. So bring your questions, and I'll look forward to seeing you. We have a lot to cover next week. There's a lot going on. So I'll see you here again tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.